Good afternoon, everyone. Voice is audible to all.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Okay, so new topic is start today. That is a stress distribution in soil. Effective stress is on weight due to molecular weight and a stress distribution in soil. This chapter is discussed due to a stress generated due to external loading. Stress distribution in soil. So this chapter is important for the highway engineering also, for the design of pavement, Westergaard theory, Newmark's theory. This theory is used. So how stress is distributed in soil layer? If any load is act on the soil layer, then how it is distributed? If this is a soil layer, here a force is act.
Ma'am, grain to grain contact.
Grain to grain contact. That means load transfer, grain to grain or layer by layer. Okay, and how it is calculated? So if point load is act on the soil, then Bossinek's theory is followed. So first of all, soil are subjected to a stress due to load from foundation of various shape and its self weight also. So the theory of elasticity in the basis of determination of stresses in soil mass various shapes. So for elastic theory to be applicable, and there must be a constant ratio between a stress induced and corresponding a strain. And it is not necessary that soil is truly elastic, but only the ratio of a stress to a strain should be constant. So elastic theory can be used in case of non-elastic soil mass which subjected to small order to stresses, and the actual magnitude that transmitted to soil from a structural loading fall within this range, and elastic theory gives valid result. So a stress at any point P in the soil mass due to point load, here is the point load P. So what is the effect of point load at point Q? Sorry, at point O. At point O. So it is calculated by two theory. First is the First theory is Vosiniak's theory. And second is Westergaard theory. So what is Vosiniak's theory? So some assumption is also included in Vosiniak's theory. So keep in mind and listen carefully the assumption of Vosiniak's theory. So first assumption is soil is assumed to be homogeneous, isotropic, and elastic material. So what is soil considered? So soil is assumed to be homogeneous, isotropic, semi-infinite, and also elastic. This is the first assumption of Wozniak's theory. Second assumption is the Hooke's law is valid. So what is Hooke's law? What is Hooke's law? Hooke's law is valid. That means the material is elastic. So what is Hooke's law?
Is directly proportional to strain, ma'am.
A stress is directly proportional to a strain. This is Hooke's law for elastic material. Third assumption is self-weight of soil is neglected. That is, there is no considered self-weight, that is unit weight. हम लोग जो consider कर रहे थे unit weight of soil, that is gamma saturated, gamma. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Self-weight of soil is neglected. This is third assumption. Fourth assumption of Wozniak's theory is soil is initially unstressed. Soil is initially unstressed. That means soil is in natural condition and assume that there is no any force act before it. ओके सॉइल इज इनिशियली अनस्ट्रेस, कोई स्ट्रेस इसमें नहीं था. Any change in volume of soil due to application of load is neglected. That means soil is incompressible. So fifth assumption is any change in volume of soil due to application of load is neglected. That means soil is incompressible. So if any load is act on the soil mass, then there is no change in volume of soil. That means soil is incompressible. Okay. Next assumption is top surface any shear stress and is subjected to only point load. Okay. So top surface of soil is free from any shear stress and load is act as a point load. Next assumption, that is seven assumption, is distribution of stresses is symmetric along the vertical axis and continuity of a stress exists in the medium. This is the assumption of Wozniak's theory. So what is Wozniak's theory? Why for any point load acting on the soil surface, then its distribution is follow as per Wozniak's theory, and some assumption of Wozniak's theory is discussed. So just remember all assumption of Wozniak's theory. First assumption is soil is homogeneous, isotropic, semi-infinite, and elastic. So if soil is elastic, so it okay. Also, the third assumption is self-weight is neglected. Soil should be incompressible. That means any load is act on the soil, then volume of soil is not changed. Okay. Also, soil is initially unstressed. It is assumed that there is no force act on the soil before it. Also, assumptions are distribution of stresses is symmetric symmetrically axis along the vertical axis and continuity of a stress exists in the medium. These are the assumptions. So now discuss Bosniak's theory, how point load is distributed along the vertical axis. So we at point what is it calculate? So this theory gives the information stress at point at a point due to point load. Okay. If any point load is act on the soil surface, then what is the stress at a certain point? So this is calculated by Wozniak's theory. So this is the soil layer. Okay. At this point, this is the O point. This is the point O, and force is act is a point load is act here. That is Q. Okay. So a stress at point in the soil mass due to load Q over the surface at O can be calculated. So at point, this is the surface, this is the first layer, top layer of soil surface, and at the top layer point where Q load is act. So we have to find at any point P, what is the stress distribution at point P? This is the P point. So at P point, what is the stress distribution? This is the X, Y, Z direction. So distance between O to P is R. So according to Wozniak's theory, a formula is given for the point load is that sigma Z equal to KB QY Z square. This is the Wozniak's equation of vertical stress. So vertical stress, that means the normal stress acting at point P. So where Kb is the Wozniak's influence factor, and this Kb is equal to equal kV equal to 3 by 2 pi into 1 divided by R by Z to the power 5 by 2.
मैम नीचे में 1/r उसके बाद क्या लिखा हुआ मैम?
Just wait, my thought. So sigma Z, that is a stress, vertical stress equal to kb q by z square, okay, where kv equal to 3 by 2 pi into 1 divided by 1 plus r by z का square into power 5 by 2. Power 5 by 2. Now clear? So this is the equation of Bosniak stress. So kV is a number and is a function of r by z. kV is a number and it is a function of r by z. This is the equation for vertical stress, that is normal stress, and also by Bosniak's theory we can find shear stress. So this is the formula for vertical stress, that means the normal stress for at any point, and shear stress developed due to point load at point P, that is tau Rz equal to shear stress Rz equal to 3q by 2 pi into Rz square divided by R square plus Z square 5 by 2. Okay, we can also write this sigma Z into R by Z. Okay, sigma Z into R Z equal to sigma Z equal to kV q by Z square. And what is kV? kV is the Bosniak's constant, and that relation is given sigma kV equal to 3 by 2 pi into 1 plus 1 divided by 1 plus r by z का square to the power 5 by 2. Okay, so both are related. Also we can find radial stress. Here only formula is used, and on the basis of formula some question is also asked in some competitive exam, not in GATE में इस चैप्टर से रेयरली ही क्वेश्चंस आते हैं. अगर कुछ क्वेश्चंस आते हैं तो वो सिंपल इस रिलेशन पे, कुछ थियोरेटिकल क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, ठीक है, वो ज्यादा कैलकुलेटिव क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते हैं. सो रेडियल स्ट्रेस एज पर Bosniak इक्वल टू q by 2 pi. हाँ, बस ये ध्यान रखना है कि कौन सा थ्योरी हमें किस लिए यूज होता है. जैसे Bosniak's अभी हमने पढ़ा, सो Bosniak's थ्योरी इज यूज्ड फॉर द कैलकुलेशन ऑफ पॉइंट लोड. ओके, सो वैसे ही वेस्टरगार्ड इज आल्सो फॉर पॉइंट लोड.
Yes, ma'am.
Radial stress, that is q by 2 pi 3 z r square divided by r to the power 5 minus 1 minus 2 mu into r plus r by z. This is equation for radial, and where mu equal to Poisson ratio. Also, assumption is very important. Assumptions for the Bosniaks and Westergaard is very important. Okay. Mu equal to Poisson stress sigma r equal to q by 2 pi into 3z r square by r5 minus 1 minus 2 mu divided by r into r plus z. Also, the intensity of vertical stress directly below the point load on its axis of loading is given by when r equal to 0. If r equal to 0, then what is the formula? So it may be simplified. If r equal to 0 in formula, and we can find sigma z equal to 3q divided by 2 pi z square 1 by 1 plus r by z का square to the power 5 by 2, and this value also simplified, that is if r equal to put r equal to 0, in that case sigma z equal to 0.4775 q by z square. So this is the value of the intensity of vertical stress directly below the point load on its axis of loading when given r equal to 0. That means if this is the soil layer, this is the soil layer, and this is the O point. So just below the, at O, what is the stress? This is the stress. And what is the force? Force is the P, and this is the stress at O. At O, r equal to 0. Okay, there is no any distance of next point. Okay, so for this surface where P is acting, where r equal to 0, this equation is valid. Clear है?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Next is the Westergaard theory. So first, assumptions of Westergaard. Westergaard is mostly used in the highway engineering for the pavement design. So assumption. First assumption of Westergaard theory is the Westergaard is also used for point load. Westergaard is also used for point load, and Washinex is also used for point load. So what is the difference between both? So see the assumption carefully. First assumption is soil medium is assumed to be homogeneous, semi-infinite, elastic, and non-isotropic. Okay, here first assumption is soil medium is homogeneous, semi-infinite, elastic, and non-isotropic. But for Washinex, soil medium is homogeneous, semi-infinite, elastic, and isotropic. So this is the first assumption. Also, Westergaard is used for a stratified soil. Okay. Second assumption is medium is assumed to be laterally reinforced with fiber of negligible thickness. That is, medium is considered to be rigid horizontally and elastic vertically. It means no lateral deformation, but only vertical deformation is occurred. Clear है? So this is the condition for soil.
डिफॉर्मेशन उसके बाद क्या बोल रहे थे?
Lateral deformation, there is no lateral deformation, but only vertical deformation is occurred. So जो भी मीडियम होगा, क्या क्या मीडियम होगा? Homogeneous, semi-infinite, elastic और non-isotropic. Okay. And also, if any force is act, then no lateral deformation is occur, but only vertical deformation is considered. Clear है? Vertical deformation is considered. So that means if vertical deformation, that means what? Vertical strain is produced, vertical strain is valid, vertical stress कुछ ना कुछ होगा, but lateral strain equal to 0. Lateral strain is 0. EH equal to 0, but EV equal to not 0. Screen is not working. Clear? So if there is
Yes,
no lateral strain, then what is the Poisson ratio? If there is no lateral strain, so what is Poisson ratio? Mu. What is Poisson ratio? Is there any relation between Poisson ratio, lateral strain, longitudinal strain? What is Poisson
मैम
ratio?
0 हो जाएगा.
Poisson ratio क्या होता है पहले ये बताओ?
Lateral strain by longitudinal strain.
Lateral strain by longitudinal strain. So according to Westergaard assumption, lateral strain should be 0. So what is Poisson ratio? Poisson ratio will be
0 हो जाएगा.
Okay. So there is no lateral strain. Poisson ratio is also 0. And also, what is the Young modulus? Young modulus in horizontal direction. Is any Young modulus? E. Young modulus. So what is Young modulus? Have you remember the formula? Stress by a strain. What is Young modulus?
Stress by strain.
Stress by a strain. So if Young modulus for horizontal, that means stress by a strain in latitude lateral direction. So if lateral is 0, that means Young modulus is also infinite.
Infinite.
Yes? Okay. So ratio of Young modulus in horizontal to vertical direction tends to infinity. So if Young modulus is horizontal to vertical is infinity. Why? Because EH equal to infinity. So Young modulus in ratio of Young modulus of in horizontal and vertical direction also tends to infinity. So these are the conditions for Westergaard theory. Okay. So Westergaard equation for vertical stress for a point load for Poisson ratio value equal to 0 is क्या हो जाएंगे? that is sigma z. Sigma z is the stress as per Westergaard equal to Kw Q by Z square. So what is Kw? Kw is the Westergaard influence constant. Kw as per according to Bosenius, Kb is the Bosenius influence factor, and here Kw is the Westergaard influence factor. Clear है? So what is the equation of Westergaard for a stress? So Kw, mu is also 0, E is also 0. So what is the Kw? Kw equal to 1 by pi into 1 divided by 1 plus 2 into R by Z square to the power 3 by 2. 3 by 2. This is the value of Kw. Okay. So sigma Z maximum occurs when Z is constant and R is 0. So if R by Z value is put 0, then Kw is maximum. That means just below the load, just below the point load, what is the value? Value of a stress is the maximum. Value of a stress is the maximum, and its value is sigma Z equal to, put the value of Kw equal to 1 by pi into 1 plus 2, okay, to the power 3 by 2 into Q by Z square. Here R by Z, put the value R by Z equal to 0. So again simplified this equation and we can write sigma Z maximum equal to 0.3183 Q by Z square. Okay. This is the value of Westergaard stress below the point load. Okay. Below the point load. And what is the Bosenius stress below the point load? That is 0.477 Q by Z square. What is the value? क्या था? Below the point load?
0.475 Q by Z square.
Great. Okay. Or for Westergaard 0.3183 Q by Z square. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
This both equation is for point load, but if a stress is generated due to uniform line load, then how it is calculated? If point load is given, then we can calculate at any point. At any point, the effect of point load is as per Westergaard and Bosenius.